Okay, guys, I've only got just a minute. Thank goodness I got a minute, maybe a little more than a few minutes. But I want to be able to record how you're going to do your Kaplan. So I'm going to hope this records everything I'm going to show you, because I'm going to actually try to walk you through the steps. So the first thing I'm going to do is take my face off of here and see if I can navigate and it still record. I hope it does. So the first thing you are going to have to do is to take your Kaplan. I have Kaplan on my desktop, and click on it. We're just going to click on it twice. It will open up to wherever your Kaplan, I have mine set to where it'll open up right to my login. So this is administrative login. I have a student login, but I can never remember what my student login is. So eventually I'm going to have to remember what my student login is, so that I can go check on everybody through student view. But we're going to look at it through the administrative view, which doesn't look the same. So that didn't help very much. So anyway, the first thing you're going to do is go into Kaplan, and you are going to do your focused exam. Now when you get into your Kaplan and you log in, it will bring up those 4 colored boxes that you saw in orientation. You'll have the green box, the orange box, the gray box that you won't be able to get into no matter how hard you try, and then a little box over here that you can go in and watch videos and case studies. So the only 2 boxes we at UACCB are concerned with in the first couple of semesters are the orange and the green box. All your focused exams are going to be in the orange box. So you want to click on your orange box, and the thing that's assigned to you for this week is Management of Care A. There are 3 Management of Care tests in there. There's Management A, B, and C. And you are assigned Management A. So that's a 30-question focused exam, multiple choice, and you'll need to go in there and take that exam when you take it. It's not assigned until next week when you have your leadership management, so it's not going to be due this week. It's going to be due next Monday. So for online, it'll be due at midnight. For the traditional, it'll be due at 8:30 on Monday morning. So once you have your Kaplan test taken, we'll just get out of this one. What you'll need to do is go into your Blackboard account. So where are we going to find our Kaplan? Well, if you'll notice on your 2016 spring hours that we gave you, you have a P is beside it. So that means, or not a P, but a T, excuse me. So you're going to find your practicum, or find your Kaplan in theory, because it has a T beside it. So we're going to make sure that we go into our theory folder. Make sure it says that it's theory. All you should have to choose from is theory and practicum. So when you get into your theory, go to your content module. After you get into your content module, it's assigned in week 2, I believe. So let's look. Yep, week 2 you have leadership management. And this is your assignment. In order to get to where the assignment actually is you have to click on Kaplan Focused Remediation, where I'm showing you. Click on that. It opens up and it tells you your due date. This is for the online, and I'm going to post it for the traditional just so they will have something to look at, although they probably will still ask me questions, and you can still ask me questions too. So your due date is Monday, January 25th, 11:59 p.m., and it's worth 10 points. Here is your assignment. Click on it. Ask me if I want to open it. I open it up. I have to enable editing. And so this is what I have to fill out. So I go down here and I look and I think, well, what am I supposed to do? Well, first of all, I really need to make, in order to have mastery level, I need to make a 55%, okay? Or not percent, but a 55 percentile. So don't get confused between percentage and percentile. Your score will tell you both, so be sure that you look at the percentile. Down here is what I want is the percentage. If you made, let's say I made, let's make it 65% percentage. I made a 65 percentage. So I'm going to have to go down up here and say 65%, 65%. Oh, 65%, I'm at level 3. So I'm in this percentage rank of 45 to 49. So I know that I'm in a level 3. So I go over here to level 3. I'm going to highlight level 3. If I can get it to do highlight level 3 for me. I'm going to highlight it. And then I'm going to put my score in here. Put my score. And my score was, I said, 65. I answered 12 questions incorrectly. I changed 6 questions, or let's see, I changed 6 questions from correct to incorrect. I didn't change any from correct to incorrect. So how long did I spend on remediation? There is a, there should be a column on the side. If you're using Firefox or Google Chrome, you should be able to see how many seconds you remediate. As the instructor, I can see how many seconds you can remediate, whether you see them or not. You should spend a total of at least 60 seconds per question. So in order for me to do the minimum amount that's required of me, 60 seconds per question, 60 times 12 would be 720 seconds. So I spent a little extra time on one question, and it told me I spent 700, and it tells you per question. It doesn't give you your total, so you have to add them all up. So I spent a whole total of 768 seconds on remediation on looking at those questions. I did go in and repeat the exam, and I made 100 on it because I did all my remediation like I was supposed to. Okay, so at level 3, I also have to make the note cards. Well, I can either go down and make note cards from here. Question 1, whatever that question was, and go over here and say the antidote to vitamin K is, no, the antidote to, let's get this right, to potassium is calcium gluconate. The remediation in Kaplan states that potassium will move calcium and, oh, wait a minute. I'm getting this a little bit backwards. Gotta have it right, guys? Magnesium. Magnesium is calcium gluconate. States that, I just had a long day in IV therapy. I'm sorry. That mag will move calcium and potassium from the vascular system into the cells. Therefore, giving calcium gluconate will cause the mag to move into the cells and out of the vascular system. And this is used to decrease toxic levels of mag when used for, and then da 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 da. I don't want to see one sentence like the antidote to magnesium sulfate is calcium gluconate. That would not be a good remediation. I want to see why and what you learned when you read that remediation that helped you go to the right answer. And they're probably not going to be this easy or this short. So you should have at least anywhere from 5 to 10 sentences to explain that. Then once I do question 1, I could go down, okay, then my next question, question 2, what the question was, and just, and then your card. So that's all you have to do for that. And then you have to save it. And I would, if I were you, set up a folder to that was just called Kaplan Focused Exams. Just set you up a folder in your Word document somewhere. But I'm going to save this one to my desktop so I can find it easy. And I'm going to put down that this was an example. And I'm going to save it. Now, I'm going to close it out because I already saved it. Close it out. Alright, and now what I have to do is attach my file, browse my folder. Of course, as much stuff as I got on my browser, that probably wasn't the best, or on my desktop, probably wasn't a great idea, but hey. Okay, there it is. Click on it, open it, and then submit it. Be sure that you're hitting the submit button, and the way you find out if it's submitted is you want to go into my grades and see if it's there to be graded. So that's all there is to doing the focused remediation exam. It doesn't matter what you made on the focused exam itself as far as your 10 points go. What matters is that you complete the remediation. So if you have not completed this remediation as it says for you to fill, it out, then you're not going to get your 10 points. In fact, you will get a 0. If you will go down here and look at that, it says failure to turn in the form will result in a 0. You must complete all required remediations. Even if you made 100 percentile or 100 percentage on your Kaplan exam, you'll see that it still tells you you've got to do a review resulting in. So all you have to do is go down there and write 0, 0, 0, 0 because you didn't have to remediate anything. Chances are you are going to have to remediate some questions. I will be going in and I will be checking to see that you did take the exam twice. I will be checking the scores to make sure you're recording the scores right, and I will be checking to see how long you spend on each question. Now, some of the questions don't have a whole lot of remediation on them. You can sit there with it open and look it up in your textbook. If it's concerning med-surg, you'd look it in your med-surg book. If it's in your leadership management, which is what this first one is, you can open up your leadership management book and look at that information in there. And that should give you your time that you need to spend on remediation. And then as your remediation for that question, you can say, as you know, the textbook states blah, 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 and do your remediation that way. That is for our focus. Now, when we go to do our integrated, the integrated will be proctored on campus, but it will be the same focused, it will be the same remediation. You can go home and do your remediation. The only difference in it will be that you cannot see the question. So you're going to have to somewhat remember the content of what you missed and use that as your question. And maybe it asked you what the antidote to heparin was, or maybe it asked you what should the PTT be, or whatever, kind of think about what the question asked you about, and then give your remediation for that, because that's going to be the only difference between the integrated and the focused as far as remediation goes. And if you have any questions, be sure to send me a message through the through Blackboard in practicum, or in theory. I started out with Kaplan in practicum, and I have had such a hard time getting a hold on this to be theory. So be sure that for Kaplan you check in your theory and you send me messages in your theory so that I can go and check on them in theory. And so if you have any questions next week after watching this video, I'll be more than happy to try to help you out. Okay? All right. Study hard. Don't forget to take your OB therapy exam.